You've already received how we are surrounded with news about global warming and its consequences. How can we be so sure that global warming is happening, and there are so many people who simply don't believe in it? Human-caused global warming exists. It is happening. It is true, and we had better start worrying about it. Before we begin to explain the things that prove global warming, it's better to understand a bit about how it happens. To be honest, this question took a long time to be answered. Scientists initially tried to find a relationship between global warming and the Earth's natural climate changes and cycles. But something was missing from this equation to be complete. They couldn't explain global warming solely with changes in cycles. That's where the greenhouse gases emitted by us, intelligent human beings, come into the equations, with the aim of putting together all that is known about the subject in one place. The UN created the IPCC, which is a group of scientists that still meet today to discuss everything new known about global warming. One of the first discoveries was that some gases responsible for most of the warming, among them the famous carbon dioxide. Just to give you an idea, almost everything we do releases carbon dioxide, like burning fossil fuels, industries, and deforestation of trees that would serve to remove carbon dioxide from the atmosphere. These gases prevent the radiation from the sun from escaping into space, increasing the temperature on Earth. This is the greenhouse effect, and it is necessary for life to exist. Without the greenhouse effect, Earth would just be another frozen planet, probably without life. It's the greenhouse effect that keeps the Earth warm for life to develop. However, carbon dioxide is not the only culprit. There are other gases in the atmosphere that trap heat much better, like methane, which is about 20 times better than carbon dioxide for this. The difference is that their concentration in the atmosphere is not as high. So, the quantity of these gases is generally given in terms of an equivalent to carbon dioxide. But as we know that the concentration of carbon dioxide has increased, it has been measured in the atmosphere since 1950, and since then, it has gone from 315 parts per million to 400 parts per million. In other words, out of every 1 million molecules of air, 400 are currently carbon dioxide. It may seem like a small amount, but this small quantity causes all the problems we are accustomed to seeing. If we want to measure the concentration of carbon dioxide before 1950, we can take air bubbles trapped in the Antarctic or Greenland glaciers. It's a pity that we can't go back much further in time, only about 650,000 years, and never has the concentration been as high as it is today. Before the Industrial Revolution, the concentration was approximately 280 parts per million. Nowadays, this number is already at 400, and we can see that the concentration varied according to the glacial periods and the warmer periods, but it never reached the level it is today. But how do we know that humans are responsible for this? There are several ways to know this. We can calculate the amount of carbon dioxide emitted by all humans. By the way, when we do this calculation, we find that half of what we produce is returned to global warming, and the other half is absorbed by plants, oceans, and the biosphere. However, the strange thing is that this absorption process is not yet fully understood. Additionally, there is a change in carbon isotopes. The isotope of any atom is an atom with the same number of protons but with a different number of neutrons. The carbon isotopes found in carbon dioxide today are the same as those derived from the burning of fossil fuels and biomass. The concentration of carbon dioxide in the oceans has also increased, ruling out the option that humans have done nothing and that it was all the ocean's fault. As mentioned before, the greenhouse effect is necessary for life to occur. The problem with these excessively emitted gases is that they cause global warming. Do you want a concrete example of what the greenhouse effect is capable of doing on an entire planet? Just look at Venus, the second planet in the solar system, our neighbor. Before studying it and sending the first probes, scientists really thought it was the ideal place to find life outside of Earth. After we managed to discover it, it was found to rain sulfuric acid. The atmospheric pressure is 92 times higher than on Earth, and the temperature is 460 degrees Celsius. In other words, lead melts on the surface of Venus. We began to think that there is no way there could be life on Venus, all because of the greenhouse effect. Venus is only hotter than Mercury, the planet closest to the Sun, because of the clouds that don't let the heat escape. In 2013, out of 10,885 articles published on global warming and reviewed by scientists, only 2 of them denied that the greenhouse effect is caused by humans. Some people say they are skeptical about global warming. The problem is that skepticism stops making sense and becomes ignorance, and it's happening now. Thank you, and see you next time.